Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine Michelle. I am Michelle and happy National Vanilla Cupcake Day! In honor of this day, I thought today I would try a recipe from foodandwine.com for vanilla cupcakes, of course. So when you're going to do this recipe, you have to think a little bit ahead because they want you to have two of these ingredients. We'll get to those later, but they need to be out at room temperature. You need a half cup of milk and 2 eggs to be at room temperature. So pull them out of the fridge about an hour ahead of time. Mine have been out for just a little bit longer than that. Then we're gonna start with the dry ingredients. So here in this bowl, I've measured out the flour. This is 135 grams, or if you want to do it by cups, it is 1 1/8 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And so we're just going to whisk those together just so that they're combined. Doesn't have to be too much action there. Set that aside for a minute. Then in a larger bowl, we're going to be using a handheld electric mixer to put together a couple of ingredients here. This is 3/4 cup of sugar, but you can see there's a little bit of darkness in there because I have mixed in some of my vanilla sugar. If you've watched my videos before, you've seen me use this. That's the vanilla sugar that I use. It doesn't matter what brand it is, but I'm using that so I can have a really good vanilla flavor in here. Otherwise, you can put in the vanilla extract, which is 1 1/4 teaspoons of vanilla extract if you would like to use that instead. So that needs to go in the bowl with the 3/4 cup of sugar. And to that, I'm going to be adding 2 eggs. Like I said, these are large eggs at room temperature. And we're going to combine those at medium-high speed until they are smooth and thicken slightly, about 3 minutes. Now that we've got this nice and mixed, you can see it's a nice, smooth, thickened bit there. We're going to be adding the next 2 ingredients. We have 1/4 cup of vegetable, or I'm using canola oil. You could use either one. And 1/4 cup, or 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that has been melted. Excuse me, sorry about that. Something caught my throat there. So again, we're going to be beating these until they're incorporated. It does tell us we need to make sure that we scrape the sides of the bowl. Alright, so meanwhile you want to get your oven heating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we'll continue with the rest here. We've got the dry ingredients that we mixed together before that we reserved, and then we've got, as I said, a half cup of milk that is at room temperature. We're supposed to add the dry ingredients and the milk in 3 alternating batches. So we're just gonna put like a little bit in here, try to kind of guess about 1/3. Looks about right. Get some of that mixed together. Okay, we are now going to put our batter into the cupcake. I, of course, had to line the cupcake pan with the liners. This recipe says that it makes 12, so I only did my 12 pan here. And it says to fill them about 2/3 full. So probably about like that. Now that we have them all portioned out, I tried my best to get 2/3 full. I think some are a little closer to 3/4, but whatever. We are now going to put those into the oven and bake them for 20 to 23 minutes until they're springy and a toothpick comes out clean when you insert it. Okay, so these have come out of the oven. Once they come out of the oven, you want to leave them in the pan just for, this is a minute or two, and then put them on the rack to cool. They have cooled completely. They look like they have a really nice texture. I like that the tops came out pretty nice and even. So I'm going to make some frosting now, some vanilla frosting, of course. And then I'll top these with that frosting. It's just my homemade frosting. And then we'll see you at final plating. Okay, so here we are at final plating. So I have frosted these. Of course, I put some sprinkles for it being fall with some assistance from my great cameraman there. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna taste test these. I'm just gonna select, I'll just take this one that's at the corner here. Let's open this up to see what kind of texture that we ended up with. We're probably gonna get crumbs. Oh yeah, we have a very nice texture. I'm gonna go ahead and cut into it so you can see the texture on this. Oh yeah, look, we've got really nice crumbs. This is really nice. I think this is gonna be great. So let's see how it is. Very nice. Very nice texture. All right, these are great vanilla cupcakes. So anyway, I hope you'll have a chance to try them and that you will join me for another episode at some point here on Cuisine Michel. Please be sure and tell your friends too. Share it with them, like, make a comment, and best of all, please subscribe. A lot of you are not subscribed that are watching this channel, and I really wish you would. If you don't subscribe, tell me why you're not subscribing. I'd like to know. Anyway, we'll hopefully see you again. Au revoir.